Morning, friends. In the earlier classes, we had discussed about subjects. What are subjects? How to find subjects in a sentence. Right. We had also discussed parts of speech, nouns, pronouns, adjectives, verbs, etc. etc. Today we will discuss another important concept, which is object. In a sentence, subject, verb, object. These three are really important. We discussed already how to identify subject and verb. Now let's go to the third part, object. Object is again a noun or a pronoun or a noun phrase. What is a noun phrase? It is kind of group of words that function as a noun. We don't need to worry about this noun phrase right now. Let us just remember as a noun or pronoun that refers to a person or thing that is affected by the action of the verb. Right. Subject is the one who is performing the action of the verb. That is subject. Object is the one who is affected by the action of the verb. Right. We'll take some examples, then we will understand. Right. Objects are again of three types: direct objects, indirect objects, and objects of preposition. What we know by objects? Objects like we generally use are things that we can see, we can feel. Objects are generally things. Right. Even in grammar also, objects are kind of things only. Let us look at some examples. He threw the ball. This person threw the ball. He is the subject that we had already discussed because who threw the ball? He threw. Right, threw is the verb, and who did it? He did it. So he is the subject. He threw what? He threw the ball, which is equal to he threw an object. He threw an object, right? This ball is an object. Physically also it is an object. So this is called object. This is called a direct object. The ball is a direct object here. He kicked the door. He kicked what? He did first of all. Kick is the verb. Who has done it? He did it. For example, Rama kicked the door. Or John kicked the door. John is the subject. Kicked is the verb. And he kicked an object. What is that object? The object is the door. Right. So now we can understand direct objects are actually real physical objects also. Right. You can see this. He threw the ball, he kicked the door, this ball, this door are actually some objects, some things. Where an action is directly applied. The action of the verb, the throwing, he threw an object. The threw, this action of this verb is directly applied on this ball. The action of kicking is directly applied on this door. This word object is actually coming from derived from Latin, which is ob plus ject. Ject is also ject is equal to that is the meaning for or the meaning of ject is to throw. Ob is in the way. A verb is thrown and this object catches the verb. Object intercepts the verb. Object comes after the verb, right? The object catches the action of the verb. He threw the ball. Like if you visualize, threw is a verb and this ball is catching the action of this verb. That is object. Right. Let us look at and this is direct object. In some cases, for example, I threw the ball at Jim. I threw the ball. This ball is a direct object. Right. And who is receiving it? For whom I have done this? I have done it for Jim. So Jim is an indirect object. I gave her a gift. I gave a gift. Gift is the direct object. I gave what? I gave a gift. I gave an object. Right. This gift is the direct object. For whom I have given? I have given for her. That's why her is an indirect object. Mom baked me a cake. What is the thing? What is the object here? Direct object is cake. Mom baked cake. Baked a cake. Right. This cake is the direct object. For whom? For whom it is done? It is done for me. Me is the indirect object. Right? Indirect objects come between verb and the direct object. Right? So when there is a direct object, then only an indirect object can happen. Mom baked me a cake. That means first a cake, which is a direct object, has to be there, and it is done for someone. That someone is called indirect object. Right? See here, you cannot have an indirect object unless you also have a direct object. Right? Mom baked me. This is not possible. Right? Mom baked me a cake. I threw at Jim is not possible. I threw the ball at Jim. I gave her is not possible. I gave her a gift. So a direct object has to be there when an indirect object is there. Right. But you can have a direct object without an indirect object also. So for example, children like toys. Toys is a direct object because it is directly taking the action of like. Right. That is direct object. Here, children like toys, in this sentence number one, there is no indirect object. Right. Children is the subject we had discussed earlier also in our earlier session. The bold ones are the subjects. Bold italic are the objects. Right. Let us look at more examples. We ate pizza. Pizza is directly taking the action of eating. Right. What is an object? Is that is affected by the action of the verb. Action of the verb. The verb is ate. What is directly affected? Pizza is directly affected. Right. Always remember objects and subjects are nouns, pronouns, or noun phrases. Forget about noun phrases for now. Noun phrases are group of words that together act like a noun. Right. These are nouns or pronouns, not adjectives, not adverbs, etc. Right. If it has to be an object, it has to be a noun or a pronoun or a noun phrase. We ate pizza. Pizza is a noun. Right, we ate. Pizza is taking the action of the verb ate. Last week, I wrote 3 papers. 3 papers is the action of wrote. These 3 papers they are taking the action of this verb wrote. They receive the action of the verb. Right? Writing, 3 papers are receiving the action of this verb writing. I have done it. Who wrote? I wrote because that's why I is the subject. Here, look into this sentence. We walked to the movies yesterday afternoon. We is the subject. Who walked? We walked. Right? Subject is clear. But here, we walked to the movies. You can say here there is no direct object. We walked to the movies. This thing is different. Children like toys is different from we walk to the movies. Please closely observe. There is no direct object here. Right? I like ice cream is different. I kicked something is different. We walked. We walked. Is like he lived. Here, there is nothing that is taking the action of this verb. Compare this with this sentence. We walked the dog around the block. The dog is taking the action of the walk. We walked the dog. Right. We took the dog. What does this mean? We took the dog. The dog is taking the action of the verb walk. Here, we walk to the movies. Here, this movies is not taking the action of the verb walk. We walk to the movies means it is a destination. It is not taking action of the verb walk. That's why this is not a direct object. Whereas in this sentence, dog is taking the action of the verb walk. We walked the dog. That means dog is taking the action of this verb. We told the boy. Let's say. We told a story to the boy. Let's say. Here, we told a story. We told what? Story. The story is taking the action of the verb told. So told story is the direct object. The teacher is erasing the board. Board is taking the action of the verb erasing. And who is doing? Teacher is doing. Teacher is subject, erasing is verb. Board is the object. Mike lives in Africa. See again. Mike lives in Africa. This is a state. This is just a statement or the state of Mike's living. Mike lives in Africa. There is no direct object of lives. Right. Mike lives in Africa is a state of Mike's uh, whereabouts. Right. Similarly, the sun is shining. Here also there is no direct object of is or shining. Robert is reading a book about butterflies. He is reading a book. So this is again, he is reading something. Right. Reading something, reading a book. Book is taking the direct action of the verb reading. That's why book is a direct object. Again, live. Tom and Anne live with their parents. Here, there is no direct object. There is no object. There is no direct object in this sentence because live what? To understand direct object, you have to ask this question: what? Tom and Anne live what or live who? This is not answering that question. Similarly, Mike lives what? Mike lives who? That is not answering the question. The sun is shining what? The sun is shining who? This is not answering the question. That's why there are no direct objects. Whereas in these cases, we walk what around the block? We walk the dog around the block. For this question around what, we are getting an answer. That's why this is a direct object. Mom baked what? Mom baked the cake. Around the verb, if you ask the question what or who, then you should get an answer for objects. Whereas Mike lives in Africa, we are not getting that answer. Right. Monkeys eat fruit and insects. Monkeys eat what? Who eat fruits and insects? We will give the answer to the subject monkeys. And monkeys eat what? Will give the answer to the question or answer to the word object. Right. They eat fruit and insects. Fruit and insects are directly taking the action of the verb be. That's why fruit and insects, these are objects. Mary and Bob help Sue with her homework. Sue is taking the action of the verb help. Right, that's it. Sue is the object. Mary and Bob help whom? Help who? Help Sue. Right, that's it. Sue is the object. Ships sail across the ocean. Ships sail what? That is not answering the question. Right. Across the ocean, again, it's a mode or path, and it is not taking the action of the verb sail. That's why there is no object. There is no direct object, indirect object here. Did you see my book anywhere? You is the subject here. Yesterday we discussed already. If there is any confusion, we have to change it to a statement. You did see my book here or there, somewhere. Right. So you is the subject. The book is directly taking the action of the verb see. That's why book is the object. Did you bake me that beautiful cake? Did you bake what cake? So cake is the direct object. For whom it is done? For me it is done. Me is the indirect object. What is the object and for whom it is done? For whom it is done is the indirect object. What object is directly taking the action of the verb? That is the direct object. Water contains hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen and oxygen is a direct object because it is taking the action of the verb contains. Who is knocking at the door? Who is the subject? He is knocking at the door. There is no direct object here. Knocking at the door. Knocking, nothing is taking the action of the verb knocking. It is like I am singing. I play tennis, or it is like I am living. I am living. There is no direct object of the verb living. I live. Right. I play tennis with my friends every Wednesday. Tennis is taking action of the verb play. I play tennis. I play what? I play tennis. So tennis is the direct object. Who plays tennis? I play tennis. So I is the subject. You and Jane should visit me. Visit what? Visit whom? Visit me. Visit me. So that's why me is the object. Who should visit me? You and J. That's why the who, you and J. This is the compound subject. My boss gave me instructions. My boss gave what? Instructions. Gave for whom? To whom? Me. Me is the indirect object. Instructions is the direct object. Next summer, we are going to Disneyland. Again, we are going to Disneyland. We is the subject. Who are going? We are going. But going what? There is no answer. Going whom? There is no answer. Going to Disneyland, here there is no direct object. Right. Please be careful here. Going to Disneyland, there is no direct object here. Because going what? Going whom is not giving any answer. Although it is thought out, I still need to mow the lawn. Disneyland is not directly taking the action of the verb going. We are going, ship is sailing, they are not taking direct uh, action of the verbs, right, in this statement. I still need to mow the lawn. Mow what? Mow the lawn. So the lawn is the direct object. Who still needs? I still need. So I is the subject. Jack, John, and Fred are still not home. Are still not home. Are what? Are still not home. This is the state. They are still not home. This home is not taking the action of the verb are. This is the state. They are not home. This is this is the state that we are telling about them. Here there is no direct object. What are you doing today? Here also there's doing. There is no direct object. It is not like I am painting a picture. If I am painting a picture, picture is taking the action of the word painting. Here it is today is not taking action of the word doing. That's why there is no direct object and there is no object. If there is no direct object, there is no possibility of indirect object. Right. But you is the subject. In every sentence, there should be a subject. Right. Object need not be there. To identify object, first you have to identify the verb and then who is taking the action of the verb or what is taking the action of the verb. Clean your room before dinner. Clean what? Clean your room. So your room is the object. And who should clean your room? You should clean your room. This is the implied view, which is the subject which we had already discussed yesterday or in the previous lesson. Right. Let us revise once again. Subjects. These are all again subjects are nouns or noun phrases or pronouns that are affected by the action of the verb or for whom the action is done. It is called indirect object. For whom, done to whom, or for someone, that is called the indirect object. And what is affected by the action of the verb, that is called the direct object. Direct objects receive the action of the verb. If you ask what or who around the verb, about the verb, the answer will be the direct object. Who, he threw what, he picked what, that is the answer. What the answer that we get is the direct object. Indirect object comes between verb and the direct object, and it is generally for whom it is done. We threw the ball at someone. That someone is the indirect object. Right. Mom baked me a cake. Cake is the direct object. Me is the indirect object. Hope you understood this. This is very important. If you still have any confusion, please message below this video. Then we'll pick up this topic again. All the best. Thank you.